After a Game 1 loss, the Suns have been cruising up 3-1 now on the Clippers after a 112-100 victory on Saturday. Kawhi Leonard has now missed 2 games due to a right knee sprain, and his absence has been felt. Leonard's status for Game 5 tomorrow, doubtful. Now, one topic of discussion this series, the lack of bench play from the Suns. Stephen A., will Phoenix's lack of depth get exposed in the next round?
Before I go into that, I want to say something real quick. You know, I said some things on this show last week about Kawhi Leonard as a superstar. I meant every word of it. Having said all of that, I said it unaware of some of the personal things his family has gotten into. I had no knowledge of that at the time that I said it. Otherwise, obviously, I would not have said it. Still has nothing to do with it. Doesn't change my opinion. I was just talking about him as a marketable star. But nevertheless, that subject would have been saved for another day had I known that. I just want to say that. Let me get to the Suns. I'm not sure they could win it all. I respect what Kevin Durant said from the standpoint that he's been injured and he's missed time. But I don't believe you're winning a championship with a 6-man rotation. Pretty much a 5-man rotation. I just don't believe it. I've been watching the Denver Nuggets. I know they lost last night. I don't understand. Minnesota is just not a smart team. They got to really, really look at their squad, their coaching staff, and the offense. Some of the mistakes these boys made. They lost a 12-point lead with 2 minutes left. Game went into overtime. That game was over. And somehow, some way, they blew it. Just idiotic plays. Shooting the ball with the clock. There's plenty of time on the clock. You're up 12. Clock is on your side. What you doing jacking up threes for? This is ridiculous.
How about the coach not calling the timeout?
How about the coach not calling the timeout? You're right. Just brain farts all over the place. All over the place. I mean, you had to cover your nose watching them play. It was ridiculous. But the Denver Nuggets are no joke. They're the number 1 seed for a reason. And then I think about the high altitude. I know Phoenix just took them out in the postseason in the sweep a couple of years ago when they went to the finals, en route to the finals. I get all of that, but I'm just looking at Phoenix right now. Kevin Durant averaging 43.8 minutes. Devin Booker averaging 43.5 minutes. I'm sorry. I don't think that you're getting through, whether it's a Golden State, Sacramento, Los Angeles Lakers, Denver Nuggets. I don't believe you're getting through the West not relying on anybody on your bench. And you know the person I'm going to hold accountable for this? I'm going to get on Michael Wilbon.
Oh.
I know he's watching, Mr. Scottsdale. That man was raving about the fact that they got a bench and you're going to see it in the postseason. I ain't seen it yet. I'm going to leave it at that. Go ahead.
Go, Perk.
Go ahead, Perk.
I'm right there with you. And here's the thing about the Suns. They got lucky as hell that Kawhi Leonard went down. Because the way that Russell Westbrook was playing, I'm telling you, the Clippers was on the verge of getting at them. But that's neither here nor there. But when I look at the Denver Nuggets, Jokic, we already know he a problem. Jamal Murray is back to the Jamal Murray of old.
Yes,
and
sir.
That's a problem for the rest of the Western Conference. And when I look at the others, Aaron Gordon being a star in this role, he plays so beautiful off of those guys. Caldwell Pope, you know what he's going to bring, 3 and D. Bruce Brown, he comes in off the bench and he is allowed to be the best version of himself, and he's actually giving more than I expected. And then I look at Michael Porter Jr. He could flat out hoop. So when I look at the depth, it's going to weigh on the Suns, and I don't know how much in the tank do an aging CP3 is going to have, because history tells us that he does struggle with health as they get deeper into the postseason.
Go ahead, Eminem.
All right, so it is hard to argue against y'all because you're right. Denver looks good. I'm glad that they're sort of getting their respect. I don't know that either one of you picked them to come out of the West.
We did not.
Okay, all right, so not fully respected. But anyway, I just wonder, similar to the same conversation we had about experience and the Warriors and the Kings, the numbers are there, but I just wonder if the opportunity and the experience and the sheer talent of Devin Booker and Kevin Durant can get this done. Like, I just giving it a chance beyond the minutes, because when they put this team together, they knew they were going to have to carry these kind of minutes, right? And you almost want to take advantage of the position that they were in when Kevin Durant joined the squad compared to them having to navigate an 82-game season if this had been the roster all season long. And so it's not a big ray of hope. It's not a very strong argument, but I do wonder if KD and Devin Booker in particular are built tough enough to be the catalyst and they could get enough out of the rest of that roster. But if those guys continue to put up monster numbers, they understand the assignment in terms of they cannot escape playing high minutes.
I got you. I'm not disrespecting Denver, though. Just because I didn't believe they're going to the finals. It's not like I picked them to lose to Minnesota in the first round. You respect them, but damn it, only one person can win the championship.
You're right. Okay,
you can't pick everybody.
You're right. All right?
Okay.
Don't whiff on them, though, is all I'm saying. And Perk, you a mess for that triangles and circles thing. That's terrible on your part.
Yeah, I never went there.
That was terrible.
He said first grade to 12th grade, he in the same class.
Not the triangles and circles.
Oh, Lord.
Monica, you are dismissed.
Thank you, friend.
You will be missed.
I think all eyes on Anthony Davis, because as he goes, it feels like so go the Lakers. As of this moment, who do you believe is in control of that series?
Lakers. With ease. And the fact of the matter is Lakers win the night series over. So they got to watch out for tonight because John Moran is coming. No question about it. You saw what he did coming off of his hand injury. Dropped 45. Came on strong in the second half. We all know this. But they got blitzed in the first quarter. They were down 35-9, 38-9 ultimately. But in the end, what it comes down to is that when Anthony Davis is doing his things, as he did in games 1 and 3, the Lakers are winning. Steven Adams is out. Brandon Clark is out. They have nobody big to contend with Anthony Davis outside of Jaren Jackson, and you got to protect Jaren Jackson because he's prone to foul trouble. So you can't really put him up against Anthony Davis. You give the ball to Anthony Davis. You make sure the offense goes through him. You find a way for LeBron and everybody else to fit in, and nobody does that better than LeBron. So this is what you do. You feed the beast, which is Anthony Davis. Let him do his thing. Another mentally weak individual. I'm not calling him mentally weak literally, but I'm saying somebody that's exhibited mental weakness. Dylan Brooks, you chirping. Okay? And then when you get yourself ejected after y'all got blitzed in the first quarter, after the game, you don't want to talk to anybody. It's amazing to me how these guys, it just shows a flagrant level of mental weakness when you're chirping and then all of a sudden you got a bad day and you don't want to answer for the stuff that you created. So Dylan Brooks and Julius Randle are in the same sentence, in the same ilk right now. But as it pertains to the Lakers, they have control of this series. They win the night, they win the series. They lose tonight, the series is in jeopardy because you do not want to give Memphis that momentum. They cannot go back to Memphis tied 2-2 and think that's going to be a good thing for them. It will not be.
I agree, especially with the way this series, it's going to go every other day now. And that's a long trip between Los Angeles and Memphis. So I think the advantage, I think tonight is the series. And look, we could be this close from Steph versus LeBron, again, something that we did not know we'd ever see in the playoffs. We could be a week away.
That would be something special. That would absolutely positively be something special. It's something that we would love to see, but I think Sacramento is going to have more to say about that than Memphis.
All right, Stephen A. Smith, first take 20 minutes away here on ESPN. You're the best. Thank you. Obviously, a full day of this, and then the playoff action continues. We'll have games all next weekend and more. But between now and then, the NFL... we are back on Get Up, and if you are just joining us, let's show you again this morning the thrilling finish between the Warriors and Kings in yesterday's Game 4. We had it for you on ABC. Draymond Green back off suspension and back off the bench in this one, and he certainly did not back away from anything yesterday. He was right in the middle of most of the action. 4 minutes to go. Warriors were up by 1 when Steph Curry knocked that